Welcome into another week of Inside CU Sports. I'm your host, Jordan Alvis. It's tournament time. Tiger and Lady Tiger basketball teams and also the Tiger cheerleading team are on their way to the Mid-South Conference Championship this week, and we're going to talk about it all tonight with the head coaches of the Lady Tiger, the assistant coach of the Lady Tigers, Miranda Denny, is going to join us, and then also head coach Brent Vernon is going to join us as well. Coach Denny, you're coming off a senior day win, a big win over Life University. It was a very emotional day for you on Saturday. Talk about the emotions. You get lead. She scored her 700th point. You got to play all your seniors. Every player that got in the game scored. It was a great day for you, especially here on senior day, your final game.
It was. You couldn't have scripted it much better than it actually went down. To be able to start all five seniors and have them be productive and score was a great thing. Leanne's moment was truly special. I don't know if I've experienced something like that as a coach up to this point. Just for someone who'd worked as hard as she'd worked, to come through 2 ACL surgeries and to be hurt again this season, to have one last moment is exactly what we would have wanted.
And Life University allowed her to score the game, or I guess it was the second basket of the day. But and then earlier, I guess it was maybe the second or the third quarter, their coach got a technical and actually just kind of worked out perfectly. She had 697 points coming into the day. She hit the two points for the layup to start the game, and then she had a free throw, which she missed the first one. We got a little nervous, but that was a huge moment for her. 700 points, that says a lot about her career and the person that she is as well.
Sure. Just to kind of go back on that, Coach Maxwell from Life was very gracious. I mean, he allowed us to do this for Leanne, which we really appreciate. And we knew coming into it that she was going to be 3 points away. So I joked with Coach Colvin. I said, let's let her shoot a three. Let's let her get it. But in all seriousness, it honestly couldn't have worked out much better. People asked us if we'd scripted the technical, and no, we didn't do that. But it did allow her to go up and score. And for 700 points for your point guard, your team leader, just a warrior, I'm so happy for her, and I'm glad her family got to see her play one last time.
And it was a huge day just for the other seniors as well. You talk about you got to start all your seniors. Every one of them scored. Lexi hit a three. I think it was the second bucket of the ball game, third bucket of the ball game. Q had a few nice baskets as well, and they got some extended playing time with the blowout win.
Right. For them to be able to be on the court, Lexi's mom traveled in from Florida to be able to watch her play. Q, obviously from Spain, her parents weren't able to watch, but I think they did watch the webcast. So, it was a great moment for them. They've given their best to this program, and it's appreciated, and I'm glad they got some time on the court.
Then after Saturday's win, you learned of your I guess the brackets were released for the Mid-South Conference Tournament. You drew University of the Cumberlands after you sealed the 3 seed, Cumberland's the 6 seed, and you played Cumberland's twice this year. You beat them both times, 57-37 and a 60-39 win. What is it about Cumberland's that you all know moving forward, just looking at that game?
They're playing really well right now. They've obviously beat Cumberland University, who we think is a very good team. They played Lindsey Wilson to a competitive game at their place, so they're playing very well right now. They're one of those teams that just make the game sloppy. They play really, really good defense. They like low-scoring affairs, and traditionally we've had a difficult time scoring against them. At the same time, our pressure defense has had an effect on them as well. I think they turned it over almost 30 times at their place. We've got good things in our favor, but we've got to be able to score the ball against them.
And then you talk about that win they had over Cumberland University. Cumberland University's kind of fallen off a little bit. I think 5 or 6 losses in a row in conference. Cumberland's beat them 60-47 in Lebanon, if I'm not mistaken.
In Williamsburg.
In Williamsburg. But that's a huge win for them later on in the conference regular season and moving into the conference tournament. They have a little momentum now going against the 3 seed Campbellsville.
Absolutely. And they've spoke about that. Actually, so their radio person was speaking about that, about how it's great to have a win. Towards the end of conference, give you a little momentum going into the tournament. And the thing about her, they're very well coached, and she'll have them believing that they can win. At the same time, they know they need to win to be able to continue their season. So their backs are against the wall, and I expect nothing less than their best.
And you talk about that. You all know you're going to get a bid to the national tournament, ranked number 9 coming into this week. The new rankings came out. But now moving it forward, obviously your goal is to win a conference tournament title.
Sure.
You've won 4 in program history, or 5, in program history. The last one coming in 2014 down at Cumberland University in Lebanon. Madison Stewart's been a really key player for you as of late. 7 of 8, 7 of the last 8 games she scored in double figures. She's really been key for you down the stretch, and she's picked up some big baskets, some big rebounds, and she's hitting the mid-range jumper as well. It's kind of added a little bit more to the offense.
Absolutely, she makes a huge difference for us. When she scores the ball well, she takes us to another level, and she's very capable. She can score inside, she can score outside. She's an underrated passer. She just does a lot of the little things well, and she makes our offense much, much better.
Talk about the Mid-South Conference Tournament Championships a little bit. The last one was in 2014. It was a great win for you down over against Georgetown, your big rival. But you're looking to win another one. You haven't won one in 3 years now, and to get that, I wouldn't say the monkey off your back a little bit, but you're already clinched your bid. But now moving forward, that's your goal is to win a tournament title.
Sure. It's everything that you work for, obviously. To cut down those nets, that's what you talk about. That's what that's what you're looking for towards the end of the season. And I think in Coach Colvin's 9 years, we've been in the conference finals game 7 of those 9 times. So we're no stranger to the conference finals, and it'd be great to go ahead and finish it off in style. And again, we don't go into many conference tournaments as an underdog.
Yeah.
We're an underdog. We're a 3 seed. And maybe that takes a little pressure off of us. We can just go play and see what happens.
Once again, the Lady Tigers, they play University of the Cumberlands on Thursday night, 8 p.m. You can follow the ball game right here at 7:45, starting with Jay Turner and Matt Payton on 88.7 The Tiger, and also the TuneIn Radio app by searching WLCU. When we come back, we're going to look at the rest of the bracket and also look at the rest of the Mid-South Conference. So stay with us here on Inside CU Sports.
The gift of reading is worldwide. Whether you're sitting at home or enjoying nature with your favorite book, Dog-Eared Books is here for you. Located on East Main Street in Campbellsville, Dog-Eared Books has a wide variety for all your reading needs. Find your favorite author or search your favorite genre. Stay up to date with all our extra events on social media at Dog-Eared Books KY and also dogearedbooksky.com. Dog-Eared Books, because books are a man's best friend.
Citizens Bank and Trust knows just how hectic your day can be. Stay on track during your busiest days with Citizens Bank and Trust. Buying the latest gear to support your favorite team. Or grabbing a coffee after studying all night. Citizens Bank allows you to deposit your checks with the snap of a picture at any time, especially after hours. Citizens Bank and Trust, keeping you on schedule. Now introducing Apple, Android, and Google Pay.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Welcome back into Inside CU Sports. Still joined here with Miranda Denny, Hootie, as they like to call her. And Coach, let's talk about really quick, how did you get that nickname Hootie in your playing days back in the day?
It was actually when I was a baby.
Okay.
My brother nicknamed me. I was making some sort of noise in my crib one night, and my granddad asked him, what's she doing? And he said, she's just a little Hootie. And it has stuck since
then.
birth, yes.
Nobody ever calls you Miranda. They always
No.
call you Hootie.
If somebody does call me Miranda, I think, they must not know me very well, or we're not on that
It must be
level.
serious or
right,
something like
yes,
that.
Exactly.
Well, in all seriousness, though, moving into the conference tournament, some other games to note. We talked about outside of the Life. Life says they're a new program moving forward. They're taking their bumps along the road here, being a new program. But outside of that Life Shawnee State game, the 1-8 game, you have a ranked team in every game, or possibly 2 ranked teams in every game moving forward outside of that. Talk about the competition in the Mid-South Conference and how tough this bracket's really going to be.
Our conference is incredibly strong. As long as I've been here, a player, a coach, 100 years, I don't remember the Mid-South Conference ever being this strong. You've got 3 teams right now within the top 10, and I'm not sure you don't have 3 top 5 teams.
Yeah.
I think we're legitimately that good. And so the competition every night in and night out is pretty solid. Like you say, every game is almost a national tournament game. It's a team that you're going up against, a ranked team, and you've got to bring your best. So I think it's going to be a really, really good tournament, and I think the winner of that tournament is going to be an exceptional team.
Well, the winner of the tournament picks up an at-large bid to the national tournament in Billings, Montana. Campbellsville, Shawnee State, and Lindsey Wilson, they've already sealed, for the most part, their at-large bid. Whoever wins the tournament, though, picks up the automatic bid starting on March 15th in Billings, Montana. Looking at those games, Shawnee State, they play live at 2 p.m. on Thursday, and then you have Pikeville and Georgetown. The 4-seed Pikeville takes on the 5-seed Georgetown at 4 p.m. That'll be another close game as well. Both of those teams kind of have a little bit of a down year in the middle part of the year, but they're still very respectable teams.
We think UPike is a really nice team. They're top 20. Again, I'm not sure they shouldn't be a little bit higher, but they've got a terrific offense. They're very, very hard to guard. And Georgetown ending up as the 5 seed is kind of ironic as well. There's a 3-way tie there between them, University of the Cumberlands, and Cumberland University. And Georgetown won the tie break by virtue of point differential. So they're playing very well towards the later end of the season. They had us down 2 at halftime. I think that'll be a competitive game. I really do. They're all going to be competitive, as you say.
And then you move into the Lindsey Wilson-Cumberland matchup. Lindsey Wilson and Cumberland, 2-seed Lindsey Wilson. We actually went over that game against Shawnee State last week, and it was a good game through the first part of the first half, and then Shawnee State got about a 10-point lead at halftime, and it wasn't really a game after that. Jonessa Moore, Shawnee State, arguably their best player, she went out with foul trouble early, but Shawnee State kept the pedal to the floor. Ashton Lovely was named the Mid-South Conference Player of the Week. She's really been playing well, and that's really been a big addition for them. But with that win over Lindsey Wilson went from an undefeated season, a number 2 team ranked in the country, to the 2nd seed in the conference tournament, and now they have to face a really tough Cumberland University team.
Yeah, that's a huge swing. It really was. And Lindsey, we talk about them. They're incredibly talented. I don't know that there's a more talented team in the nation. If you line them up 1 to 5, they're extremely athletic, extremely talented. At the same time, there's a ton of pressure being undefeated, and there's a ton of pressure being the number 2 team in the nation. I can tell you last year when we were ranked number 1, that's the most pressure I felt as a coach. So maybe it's good for them to get that monkey off their back.
That's
maybe
true.
that loss is maybe what they need. I think they're incredibly talented. At the same time, Shawnee probably deserved to be the number 1 seed. I think they're playing as well as anybody right now. And for us, they're our most difficult matchup.
And you talk about you all pull out the win against Cumberland's on Thursday night. You play again 4 p.m. on March 4th. That's Saturday. You win that game against Cumberland's. Lindsey Wilson wins that game against Cumberland U. It's the Campbellsville-Lindsey matchup once again, one of the biggest rivalries in the Mid-South Conference.
Yep. We're excited. We have talked about it all season long. It's hard to beat a team 3 times. They've got us twice now. And we're excited. We feel like the way we played with them at their place towards the end of the season, we were very competitive with them and felt like that was our game to have. So to see them again, we're not intimidated in the least. We're excited.
Well, lastly, before we let you go, obviously you could have 1, 2, 3 games in 4 days span. You want to scout. Obviously, you've scouted all the teams throughout the year. You do a lot of the scouting with Coach Colvin and Lindsey Bird. But talk about the scouting that goes into place during the games that are before your game. You have 3 games to watch before your game. Obviously, you're really going to watch the Lindsey Wilson-Cumberland game. But talk about the scouting that goes in. You have 3 games. How do you prepare each day? Because you don't want to look ahead because it's win or go home at this point.
Right. Our focus right now is University of the Cumberlands. And I'm not going to lie, I've gone ahead and watched film on the other 2 teams, but it's conference. You pretty much know what to expect. So while you're looking for new things and new plays, most of the time headed into the conference tournament, you know what to expect. But that week, it's a tough week. You do spend a lot of time watching the games ahead of you, breaking down film, and then you've got a limited time to relay that knowledge back to your girls. We're lucky that we have a day off on Friday, so you have that day to practice and get ready for Saturday. But from Saturday to Sunday is a quick turnaround, and you kind of just have to go on what you already know. And for the most part, we feel prepared for that.
Well, Coach, we appreciate the time this week. Hopefully, Coach Colvin, she's able to join us next week. We'll give her a hard time for missing out this week.
Yes, let's do that.
It's your time to shine, so we appreciate you stopping by.
Thank you.
Once again, the Lady Tigers, they play University of the Cumberlands 8 p.m. on Thursday night. You can catch that ball game right here starting at 7:45 on the CU Sports Network with Jay Turner and Matt Payton, 88.7 The Tiger, and also the TuneIn Radio app. When we come back, we're going to talk about the men's program. The men, they picked up the 7th seed in the Mid-South Conference tournament, and they also play on Friday. They don't have the day off in between. They have to play Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. When we come back, Coach Brent Vernon is going to join us, and we're going to talk about their upcoming tournament. So stay with us here on Inside CU Sports.
Here at Saloma Baptist Church, our mission and ministry extend beyond our walls. We are focused on teaching all ages about the love of Jesus and preparing them for a life of mission. We are committed to serving the local community and the world in the name of Jesus Christ. For more information on service times and mission opportunities, visit our website at salomabaptist.com. We extend a warm welcome to you and your family here at Saloma Baptist Church.
As the city of Campbellsville prepares to celebrate its bicentennial, Taylor County Bank celebrates 80 years of being locally owned and operated. Taylor County Bank offers many convenient features such as mobile banking and online bill pay. Should anything happen to your debit card, Taylor County Bank provides instant disabling of the card. They also offer a number of design options to show your local pride. Taylor County Bank, with multiple Campbellsville locations and online at taylorcountybank.com.
Welcome back into Inside CU Sports. Now we're transitioning to the men's side. The Tigers, they play Georgetown College 6 p.m. on Friday night, and Coach Brent Vernon joins us now. And Coach, you're coming off a loss to Life University on Senior Day. Coach Atkins was in town. Emotional day for some of the guys with Senior Day and everything. But moving into the conference tournament, you won 3 of your last 4 ball games. Got a little momentum going in the conference tournament. That's big for you.
It is big, and you know, we played pretty well 3 of those last 4. Saturday was an odd game for us. We just couldn't make many shots and get the offense going. Defensively, you know, whenever you lose by 13 or 14, you think, well, you do your job. But it's one of our best field goal percentage defensive games of the year, and we did a really good job. Held them to 62 points. And if somebody had told me going into the game, well, Life scored 62, how do you feel about your chances? I would have felt really well. It was just one of those games that we could not get in a real good flow. Life had a great game plan of how to guard us, and we tried to make some adjustments, and we just didn't capitalize on them.
And they made 12 threes, only 9 2-point field goals, and obviously 12 threes, 36 points right there. And that was a little bit of the difference maker moving forward.
And that was the biggest one, and that was our game plan, to not let them have that many threes. So it's sort of, we didn't execute the way we needed to. But again, I still look at, you know, I look at a lot of stats and stuff like that, and it's a game that we gave ourselves a chance. You know, we didn't score a lot the last 7 or 8 minutes, and we had chances to cut into the lead with really great looks, shots that we normally make that we just couldn't get to fall on Saturday for whatever reason. But it's like I told our guys after the game, we got to chalk that one up. We got to move past that and start looking forward to Frankfort now.
And you talk about Frankfort, Georgetown College, the brackets were released Saturday night. Everything was released, made final last Sunday. Georgetown College, 6 p.m. tip-off. We talked about it just off camera a little bit. Probably one of the better draws you could pick.
It is. For the situation we're in, being the 7th seed, you know, we got away from Life, who is a team that have proven time and again through everybody in the conference, they're the best team in the league. I personally wanted to be away from Cumberland's. You know, Life and Cumberland's resemble a lot of each other, can really shoot the ball, make threes. Both Coach Atkins and Coach Butcher do a great job of game planning. And that was a matchup that I wasn't really wanting early on. If we were to see them in the championship, obviously you'll take whoever you get in that time. But Georgetown, we match up well. We had 2 very good games with them in the regular season, split with them. And it's a game that our guys know they can go in and win, so our confidence is up, and we're looking forward to the challenge.
You talk about those games earlier in the season. It was kind of flip-flopped in a way. You had a big 12-point lead, 7 minutes to go in that game here at home. Georgetown ended up coming back, going on a 16-0 run and take a lead. They ended the game on a 25-8 run. They won 93-87. You go to Georgetown. You're down by, I think, 11 at halftime. You flip the switch, and you hold on late for a 77-76 win. And that was actually Georgetown's, I think it was their 4th conference loss in a row, and they lost 5 of 6 conference games at the end of the season.
They have, and you know, obviously we don't want them to break that trend right now and get back on the right track. Their wheels are spinning a little bit, and we know what that's like because we've been there. But you're right, it was really odd that at our place the leads flipped, and then at their place it flipped the other way. Both teams, it seemed like on the road, made a lot more plays, and you would expect it to be at home. So again, I think we're very, very evenly matched up. Personnel-wise, I think both teams possess something that the other team has a hard time to defend. If we can do a good job in transition defense and keeping them off the glass, I really like our chances moving forward.
And we talked about earlier, too, they have Troy Stewart, Chris Coffey, Quan Poindexter. I think he put up 41 points in that game at home, or here at Campbellsville. But you have Eric Kinney. Rod Lawrence is playing a little bit better. Jalen Coates has really been playing well as of late the last month. Hagen Tyler. You have the pieces as well, and Hagen Tyler's been a part of a conference a run as well. So you have some experience there. Where Georgetown, Troy Stewart, he's really him and Chris Coffey, I guess, the only guys that are returning that played a lot of minutes for them in the past.
We do, and again, you said the guys that we really have to slow down. Quan, at the 41 here, 33 of them were in transition, which we were talking about. He's very good in transition. Get him in the half court. There's a little bit of a difference in his game, and we can help off of a little bit more. And the same goes for those other guys. And Coffey, you know, as much as he's improved on the offensive end, his offense comes from transition and offensive rebounding. So it's little things that we have to be very, very picky about how we defend and where we go with it. But if we can really stay detailed and focused in our game plan, again, I really like our chances.
Talk about Troy Stewart, Hagen Tyler, 2 of the top 3-point shooters in the conference and also the country. Troy hit 3 straight threes here in that game at here at Campbellsville. Obviously, we know about Hagen Tyler. He hit 10 or 11 threes in a game earlier in the year, but it's fun to watch those guys play, pull up from 25, 26, even 30 foot sometimes, and just stroke it.
It is, and you know, Troy made some big shots at our place, and Hagen made some big ones at theirs.
Yeah.
You know, he made a three to take the lead halfway through the second half, and then he makes another one later in the half to give us a 3-point lead for good. Excuse me. Both of them are really explosive players and can score points in a hurry, and both teams are going to focus on trying to slow them down.
Well, whenever we come back, we're going to talk about the rest of the bracket and also talk about how Campbellsville's chances moving after Friday night into Saturday and Sunday and what they look like. So stay with us here on Inside CU Sports. Welcome back into Inside CU Sports. I'm your host, Jordan Alvis, still joined in the studio tonight with head coach of the Tigers, Brent Vernon. Tigers, they play Georgetown College on Friday night, 6 p.m. Eastern time tip-off. Our coverage starts on 88.7 The Tiger at 5:45. Coach Vernon, let's talk about the other bracket games. Obviously, you have Life coming in, the regular season champions, the #1 seed. They got Shawnee State. And then after that, you have Cumberland's and Lindsey Wilson also in that bracket as well. You talk about off camera, three of those teams are three teams you didn't want to face until the finals.
I really didn't, and it goes back to there are some teams that you just match up better. I'm going to say whether it be the way they prepare for you, personnel, and all three of those teams have a little bit of that. You know, this year's conference tournament, you go in and it's a big unknown because in the past you've had one or two teams who you thought was head and shoulders, maybe they're going to win.
Yeah.
And this year, Life's made a great run through the conference, but there have been a lot of close games with them. I don't think there's a game where anybody can say this is an automatic win for somebody. I think every game has a chance to be very close. I think it'll be very competitive, and I think everybody is going in having no clue what's going to be the outcome.
You talk about the Cumberland's, Life and Shawnee State. They tip off 2 p.m. on Friday afternoon. They have game 1, then you go to game 2. Cumberland's and Lindsey Wilson at 4 p.m. Cumberland's 8-6 record in conference play. Lindsey Wilson 7-7. They're both right there. That'll be another tough game. Coach Butcher, Coach Peck, two longtime coaches. They've been in this situation before.
And in reality, that may be the most intriguing game when you look at large bids. I'm going to say Cumberland 4th, Lindsey's 5th. They've split in the regular season. Both have 20-plus wins on the year. Both are probably due a chance to go to the national tournament, but we'll probably only get 4 teams unless a 5 through 8 were to win the conference tournament. So I could easily see the winner of this game maybe getting the nod over the other. I think it'll be a big game for both of those teams. It'll be a fun game to watch.
And you have the Campbellsville-Georgetown matchup, 6 p.m. You move in the rest of our side of the bracket. Pikeville, the 3 seed, 24-6 overall. They've been in the top 15 all year for the most part besides the preseason poll. 9-5 conference record taking on Cumberland University. Cumberland University's had some big wins as of late, 12-14 overall, 5-9. They've struggled throughout the year, but they've had some big wins as of late.
Yeah, and Coach Thompson's done a great job. I'll say it's one of his teams that he's talked about how much more he's liked coaching them. They're very hard to guard. We lost to them twice this year, both basically by possession. Them and Pikeville just played a week and a half ago and went into overtime. So, yeah, it's a 3-6 game, but, man, I think it'll be a really good one. And I just see every game being good, and it's something that hopefully we'll be sticking around for the 8 o'clock game to watch to see we play in the second round. And, you know, I really don't have a preference if we were to get back past that first game. I'm going to say you take it possession by possession, game by game, and if you're fortunate to get to the second round, we'll be happy and play whoever comes out of that game.
And I talked to Hootie about it a little bit earlier on the show, but how do you all prepare? You have 3 games in 3 days. The girls, they have the luxury of having Friday off. The guys play Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 3 games in 3 days. It's a national tournament-like feel with all the close games, all the close teams, really good teams. How do you all prepare each game? Obviously, you want to focus on Georgetown. You can't move on to Pikeville and Cumberland U yet, but obviously you got to have something in your back pocket ready for them because you'll play them on Saturday.
And we do, and it's something that I told our guys before practice whenever we started this week. I said, Coach Mark, what have you been doing all day? And he's been preparing for everybody else. I've been starting on Georgetown, and I'll continue on that. But the bottom line is we have the utmost faith in our team and our players, and we're relaying that to them. And we'll have game film on all opponents that we could potentially play moving forward, and it will be everybody because, again, I think this conference tournament is a big unknown. And if we were fortunate enough to get a win, we'll have stuff ready for Pikeville and Cumberland U, and then hopefully get another one on Saturday, and whoever comes out of that top side, we'll see them on Sunday afternoon.
That'll be big, too. You get if you win on Friday night, you play 8 p.m. on Saturday, March 4th. there in the Frankfort Convention Center. Coach, you were a part of the 2015 Conference Tournament Championship. That team was upset in the national tournament that year. We thought they really had a great chance. You get upset. But what was it like being a part of that 2015 Conference Championship team as an assistant coach?
It's very special. I'm going to say the guys put in tons of work. That was one that we went in knowing that we should win the tournament. I'm going to say it was a team that we had that we felt we were the best team. Yeah. This year, you know, from a coaching standpoint, it's a little different because we haven't had the year that we anticipated having. But I love our guys' demeanor. You know, in practice the other day, they truly believe in themselves. And that's what I've really preached and have really enjoyed about this group, because we've fought a lot of adversity. And we've said it on some previous shows. We could have easily thrown the towel in a long time ago. And these guys don't think that at all. They have one goal in mind, and that is going up to Frankfort and winning the tournament and trying to make a run, because the one thing we've always said at tournament time, everybody's 0-0. Yeah. It starts all over, and this is the second season. And if you're fortunate enough to get through that second season to get to Kansas City, you know, we sort of proved that last year as a 24-25 seed and made a run to the Final Four. Anything can happen in the NAIA tournament. And you know, we got to take it one game, one possession at a time and try to make a run here late. And
it's win or go home at this time, too. Obviously, with the record you all have had, not the great season, you got to win the conference tournament, go to the national tournament.
Yeah, and again, that is our number one goal, and our guys believe in that, and our coaches believe in that. And as long as we have that going forward, we like our chances, and we'll go up. You know, our backs are against the wall, but now we have nobody to blame but ourselves if we don't go out with the sense of urgency that we need.
Coach, we appreciate the time, and good luck on Friday night.
Thanks, Jordan.
Once again, the Tigers, they will play Georgetown College at 6 p.m. on Friday night. And you can follow that ball game starting at 5:45 with Jay Turner and Matt Payton here on 88.7 The Tiger. The Lady Tigers, they play Thursday night at 8 p.m. versus University of the Cumberlands. Our coverage starts at 7:45 on these same stations. We want to say thanks for tuning in this week. When we come back next week, we'll talk about the recap of the Mid-South Conference Tournament and hopefully bring home 2 conference tournament championships. So we'll see you next week. This is Inside CU Sports.
Campbellsville Baptist Church, a church building kingdom community through small groups, kids ministry, youth ministry, and worship. At Campbellsville Baptist Church, we are dedicated to sharing the love of God because God's love changes the world. Join us on Sundays for worship at 9 and 11 and small group Bible study at 10. Located on North Central Avenue and on the web at campbellsvillebaptistchurch.com.
Campbellsville University Cosmetology teaches beauty inside and out. The cosmetology students at CU receive salon experience while learning in a contemporary environment from faculty who have worked in the industry. With areas of study ranging from hairstyling to salon management, Campbellsville University Cosmetology can help you turn your passion into a profession. Kickstart your cosmetology career today. Visit campbellsville.edu/cosmetology.
A champion doesn't get days off. It takes determination and drive to realize goals. From long nights to early mornings. From the courts to the classrooms to online. At Campbellsville University, this is why we play. This is how we learn. This is where champions are made. Find your calling for a life change at campbellsville.edu.